Greetings, YouTubers, and hopefully some of my fellow Antique Radio Forum members. Welcome to my YouTube introduction video. I hope some of you Antique Radio Forum members are watching, especially you, Bad Restorer. After all, it was your YouTube videos that inspired me to do this. So, this is all your fault. Okay, well, this video is to introduce you all to me and some of my interests, and to let you know what subjects I'll be doing future videos on. I hope that you'll excuse me if I'm a little unorganized. This is my first YouTube video after all. I also hope that you'll excuse the poor audio quality. My camera is pretty good video quality, but the audio pickup, it kind of sucks. Okay, on to a little bit about me first. I'm 53 years old. I live in sunny South Carolina. It's where I was born and raised. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I'm a recipient of a kidney transplant courtesy of one of my other fellow Antique Radio Forum members and very good and generous friend, Art. Known on the Antique Radio Forum as 2B or not 2B. Okay, as you can probably tell, since I'm a member of the Antique Radio Forum, one of my main interests is in collecting and restoring antique radios, such as this one right here behind me. This is my Emerson Model 28 Tombstone. It's a semi-rare radio. I just finished doing a recap on it, and it plays pretty good, as you can hear. However, I do have a problem with it, and I'm hoping some of you Antique Radio Forum members may be able to give me some suggestions on how to solve the problem. The previous owner had worked on it, and it appears that he changed, or I should say he replaced the power transformer, and I think he probably used what he had or what he could get, and I don't believe that it's the same specs that the original calls for. The reason for this is that as you can hear, it plays very well with the Variac set to 90 volts AC input. And at 90 volts input, the B plus voltage reads right on what it should be. But when you give it 117 volts, or the full 126 volts line voltage I have here, the B plus voltage reads about 100 volts higher than it should be. Now, I tried using a dropping resistor in line with the filters, but it had absolutely no effect. So I'm hoping some of you can give me an idea on how to fix this problem. Now, another radio in my collection that I restored a few years ago is this nice little emerald green Northern Electric Model 5000 Baby Champ. And I repainted it, and this was the first time I'd ever done a repaint job, especially with the hammer tone finish paint, and I'm pretty pleased with the way it turned out. And it's also a pretty nice sounding little radio for its size. Now, I'm also an amateur radio operator. My call sign is Kilo Foxtrot 4 Charlie Zulu Victor. I got my tech class license back around 1994. Just haven't upgraded yet, haven't gotten around to it, but I hope to get my general ticket sometime this year. Some of my other interests, my other main interest is in collecting and shooting firearms. I particularly like shooting 22 rifles, particularly target grade rifles. This one right here is one of my favorites. It's a Mossberg Model 44 US. Used to be U.S. property training rifle, and now it's mine. And it's a very accurate rifle. and it's a lot of fun to shoot. Also, I like to collect and shoot old Milsurp rifles. This is an 1898 Krag. Unfortunately, this one is one of the 1920s, sporterized cut-down models, so it doesn't have a whole lot of collector value because of that, but it's still a good shooter. I'm also a firm believer in the Second Amendment, and I'm also a firm believer in protecting my castle. This is my Remington 1100 12-gauge semi-automatic shotgun, which I have modified to better suit my needs and to better be able to fit my wife, who's of small stature, so that she could also use it. I have various other firearms, and in fact, some of my future videos, I have some gunsmithing projects in mind that I plan to do soon, and I'll probably do some videos concerning those. Another thing I like to do, one of my interests, is in listening to old-time radio shows. I have a lot of the MP3 CDs. Some of my favorites are The Shadow, anything with Jack Webb, Dragnet, Pete Kelly's Blues, Pat Novak for Hire, and various other things. I like the hard-boiled detective stuff. Also, I enjoy reading the old 1930s, 40s pulp books, stuff like Doc Savage. I started reading Doc Savage actually when I was in high school. This, of course, is a reprint. I couldn't afford the real thing. I also like The Spider, Master of Men. And, of course, The Shadow. Also, one of my interests concerning radio is, and I hope this doesn't offend any of you other amateur radio operators, if it does, tough, because I enjoy also talking on the CB radio and restoring old tube CB radios. I started with CB, most of us did, and not every CBer is a jackass, and not every ham radio operator is a gentleman. Okay, some other interests. One of the things I'm interested in is because I've had kidney disease for a long time. I've been in kidney failure for many years, and because of that, I got that and laziness. I got way out of shape, got too fat, and I hope to be changing that. In fact, the next video that I'll be uploading after this one will be week 1, day 1 of what I hope to be my body transformation using my Bowflex machine. So I hope that you'll tune into that, and I hope that I make progress. Well, I'm about out of time. YouTube has a 10-minute limit, and I don't want to go over that. So for now, I'll say thank you for watching. I hope you'll tune in to my other videos. To all you Antique Radio Forum members, now you know what Spec Ops 56 looks like and sounds like. Goodbye and adios.